Well, good morning. Welcome subcommittee members and members of the public to this March 31st Governor's Workforce Development Board Strategic Planning Subcommittee meeting. For the record, my name is Nancy Olson, Chair of the Strategic Planning Subcommittee. Katie, will you please take roll, confirm the quorum, and verify posting?
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Chair. So we have Chair Olson,
Here.
Councilman Black,
Here.
we have Drazen Ellis. Okay, Dave Schmidt.
Here.
Okay. Senator Lang. Not here. Milt Stewart, also not here. Ariana Florence.
Here.
Okay. Daniel McCatton.
Here.
Assemblywoman Monroe Moreno. Also not here. Sherry Mantanona. Ed Estepona.
Here.
Brett Miller.
Here.
Robert Fink.
Here.
Michael Yoder. And Gina Bonjovi.
Here.
Great. Ms. Chair, Katie Gilbertson, Governor's Office Workforce Innovation. For the record, I hereby affirm that this March 31st, 2023 Governor's Workforce Development Board meeting has reached a quorum. And I further affirm that the agenda and notice for this meeting were properly posted pursuant to Nevada's open meeting law, NRS 241020.
Thank you. Okay, before we proceed, I would kindly request that anyone that speaks today identify themselves for the record. So we'll continue on to agenda item number 4, public comments. Members of the public are invited to provide comments at this time. No action may be taken on any matters during public comments until the matter itself has been included on an agenda as an item for possible action. Do we have any public comments on the telephone? Okay, any on Zoom? Okay. Moving on to agenda item number 5. Is there any discussion before I call a motion to approve the December 5th? Wow, 2022? Yeah, I guess it is. Okay. Told you it was Friday. Strategic Planning Subcommittee meeting minutes.
So moved.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
This is Edward Estepona. For the record, I second.
Thank you. All in favor? Say aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Okay, thank you. Motion passed. Okay, moving on to agenda item number 6 for possible action. Based on the discussion actually at the last meeting, I will take a minute or two to update those that were not able to be present in the last meeting. What we did is we presented to the full subcommittee the work that has been done by the work group and the plans that have been made by the work group going forward to make some changes in the approach to the state plan from the past. The state plan in the past has been much more of a compliance document. We want to move towards really being a strategic plan that is a usable document. We will take several of the sections that have been addressed in a way that is very separate between the titles so that the prompt from the U.S. Department of Education and U.S. Department of Labor has been answered based on Title I, Title II, Title III, Title IV, the TANF, instead of an actually comprehensive, cohesive response as a system. So the idea with the work group planning and revisions to the state plan would be to change that in several of the sections to be more of a comprehensive, cohesive vision. So that was what was presented to the last strategic planning subcommittee meeting, in which we did not have a quorum. So for possible action, we are asking for the approval of the subcommittee to continue along those lines. And then, you know, present the changes to the subcommittee at a later meeting. Okay, is there any further discussion before I call for a motion to approve the new structure of the state plan? Or any questions? Okay, I will call for a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, David Schmidt.
Miller,
Second.
Scott Black.
Okay, I think I heard Brett. I'm gonna put Brett down, Brett Miller for second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? Please let the record reflect that the motion carries. Yay. Okay. Moving on to agenda item number 7 for possible action. This is the election of a vice chair for the strategic planning subcommittee. Do we have a nomination for vice chair of the strategic planning subcommittee? You can either nominate yourself or a member of the subcommittee can nominate someone else. And I will nominate Edward Estepona. Are there any other nominations? Edward, do you agree to accept the nomination?
This is Edward Estepona for the record. I do accept it. Thank you.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Do we have to make a motion on this, or do we just vote? Just for the clarity.
Oh, Dawson, thank you so much. Nancy also for the record. I think Scott.
I'll make a motion to nominate Mr. Estepona as vice chair of subcommittee.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
David Schmidt, I'll second that.
Thank you. Okay. And then since we already did the vote, we'll call it good. I do want to take a little leeway here as chair and ask Mr. Estepona, do you want to also be included in the work group?
This is Edward Estepona for the record. Madam Chair, I would prefer, because of the way the work group works, it's really very, the type of skill set that you guys have is very laborious to what state and federal government wants, not necessarily in my wheelhouse as I'm in the private sector. I would prefer to leave it to the work group, as they are the experts in the field, to making sure that we're dotting our I's, crossing our T's, to make sure we're staying within proper ways of doing what the government's requesting us to do. My preference is to stay in the level of the what I call the, I don't know, the Cliff Notes version of our strategic plan, which is really trying to figure out what is the workable, actionable items that we as a state can move forward towards. So that's just my preference. But in a pinch, if somebody needs me to be there, I will be there.
Thank you very much. Nancy Olson for the record, thank you very much. What we can do, Katie, I think is go ahead and CC Edward, and then, you can, if you want to pop in, you can pop in. You'll at least know as we're meeting. And as
Thank you.
again, a little leeway if something's not on the agenda. As a reminder, we are not meeting this next week. But we will, well, you will meet without me on the 19th.
Oh, Chair Olson, Katie Gilbertson for the record. Just wanted to tell everybody that like the full board's meeting that day at the same time, but I mean, there's not a lot of overlap. So
The full board is meeting the same day?
on the 19th, yeah, at 2.
Oh, well, then I think we probably do need to change that.
Okay.
Maybe just push it a week.
Yeah, whatever you guys think, but
And
I
I
didn't
should,
want somebody to have to, choose or anything.
got it. Okay, thank you very much.
Mhm.
All right, and with that, I will go back to the agenda, which is actually closing up. Before moving on, I would kindly request that any member of the subcommittee who arrived after the roll call, please take a moment to identify yourself at this time. Moving on to agenda item number 8, members of the public are invited for final comments. Do we have any comments on the telephone? Any on Zoom? Okay, and hearing no further comments, I hereby move to adjourn this meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Before people jump off, before the work group people could jump off, can I ask you if we change the meeting from the 19th to the 26th, will that put a kink in your schedule?